Hello you guys, and welcome to episode 2 of my podcast. Thank you for being here, and I first and foremost just want to say thank you so much to anybody that had anything nice to say or left a comment or a like or even just watched my last video. It means so much, you guys have no idea, and I really appreciated all of the positive feedback. Yeah, it just made me so happy to have a positive reaction to it, and I hope you guys enjoy all of the ones to come as well. So today I wanted to talk about feelings. I promise not all of the podcast episodes are going to be deep. I definitely wanted to talk about something more lighthearted today, but my mind just keeps going back to a place where I don't know, I guess I can talk more about things that are deep, or I don't know, I have more to say about them for sure. So I wanted to talk about feelings versus decisions a little bit today, and then get into just like, it's a broad topic obviously, so there's a lot of things that I'll hone in on. Okay, I guess let's just start off by saying that I crave feeling all the time. I guess, okay, actually, let's rewind. This is not even that deep of a topic. Like, everybody feels feelings. Feelings demand to be felt. Let's start there. Feelings demand to be felt. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's a beautiful thing. Whether it's a good feeling, bad feeling, something in between, feelings demand to be felt. And I am so happy and blessed to be on this earth and to even be able to experience feelings. And whether they're good, whether they're bad, I'm just grateful to experience them. I crave feeling so bad, you guys. Like, I crave feeling anything. I honestly feel like, I feel like I was put on this earth to help people. That is genuinely, since I was young, I've always said I feel like I was put on this earth to help people. I feel like that is my purpose in life, literally. I wanted to be a therapist growing up for the longest freaking time, you guys. I don't think I want to do that anymore because I feel like that's just a lot of stress on myself. I feel like I can help people in bigger and better and larger ways. But I did want to be a therapist growing up because I was just like, yeah, like I want to talk people through their problems, Bitch, I need therapy. I was going to therapy actually for a while. We'll get into that. Yeah, back to the topic. I just crave feeling all the time. And like, I don't know, I can like always just imagine it. It's always just so close. Like, feeling is like on the tip of my tongue all the time, you know? And when I talk feeling, like I crave large feelings, you know? Like I want to feel so many, not feelings at once. I want to feel so much feeling that it like overwhelms me, literally. And having that euphoric feeling is something so different. It's like literally a feeling that I chase all the time. That type of feeling you get when you're dancing in the rain, you know? Like, it sounds really cliche, but those cliche things in life are the feelings that I really chase. Like, love is like a huge feeling that I don't chase, I attract. But you know what I mean? Like, there's so many feelings that I crave all the time. And I feel like when I was living back, like a feeling that I really freaking miss is being in my car. Y'all have no idea, my car is my baby. My car is literally my baby. There was a period of time in my life where I was living in my car. I definitely had other options, but I was accommodating somebody else and staying with them in my car. And ever since, honestly before then, my car is just my baby. It's always been my home. It's been my safe space. There's no other space like a car, you know? And coming to Toronto, I left my car in Calgary because it just didn't really make sense to bring it here. First of all, I don't think she would make it. She is breaking down every day. Yeah, she was on her last legs, to say the least. That's my dishwasher. Let's give it a sec. Do we really have to do that right now? Oh. Thank you. What the heck was I saying? Oh yeah, she would not have made it here, you guys. She really would not have. So probably best for her to stay at home. But I miss her so freaking much. Y'all don't know. There's like, being in Toronto, there's no really, I want to say there's no need for a car because I feel like that's what everybody says. But for me, there's a need. There's no need because there's so much traffic. You can't really you can walk everywhere. Damn. Thank you. There's really no need because you can pretty much walk everywhere. But you really can't though. Like if I want to go to somewhere outside of the city, I can't really get there unless obviously I want to be on the bus for 2.5 hours, which I don't. So in a way I do kind of feel a little bit trapped, which is crazy because the city is so big and like my feet get me far. Don't get me wrong, my feet get me very far. I have picked up walking like a lot. I've never been really a walker, obviously, because I had other ways of getting around, but I have picked up walking so much, and I actually have picked up like a hobby for walking. I do really enjoy walking. I love me a good night walk. I love listening to music and just like walking, but nothing, let me tell you, nothing hits more than listening to music in your car. So I don't know, I'll always pick car over walking. Right now I don't have that luxury, but one day we'll be back together, me and my car. Or me in a different car, because I don't really think that she's doing what she needs to anymore, to be honest. So maybe we'll invest in something bigger and better in the future. Well, we will for sure. I feel like I kind of got off topic there, but I mean, I didn't even get off topic. My car gives me a whole lot of feeling, let me just tell you that. And I'm a driver, okay? I was a NASCAR driver in another life, I swear to you. Y'all, like, when I tell you, I have 13 speeding tickets, y'all. 13. Ask me how I got that many, I don't know. Ask me how I haven't gotten my license taken away, I don't know. Not that I'm a bad driver, but no, yeah, I only got pulled over about, I think, twice. Out of all of those speeding tickets, I think I only got pulled over twice. Bless the Lord. But no, the freaking traffic cameras in Calgary would get my ass. And I don't know how it is in like other cities, countries, whatever. In Calgary, you can get your license when you are 14. You can get your learners. So when you're 14, you can get your learners. Up until you're 16, you have to drive with an adult, someone over the age of 18, and somebody that has like their full license, right? But as soon as you turn 16, you are chilling. You can just drive on your own. It's crazy, honestly, to think that like a 16-year-old, I mean, at 16, I really felt like that guy, so I guess it's not that crazy. I didn't feel like that guy, but I've always felt a lot older than what I've been. I feel like since I was like 12, actually since I was like 10. I mean, honestly, from like 7 to 10, from 7 to like 12, I blocked out like all of those years. I don't really remember what happened. I've just always felt like I've been like 4 years ahead of my time. At least 4, maybe even more. I don't know, it depends on like what part of my life I've been in, but I've just always felt very much more mature than I have been. So like looking now at like a 16-year-old or like a 13-year-old, I'm like, damn, like you're young. Well, I'm still young, so I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know, back then I felt just so much older than I was. So yeah, I don't know, when I was 16 I was driving, y'all. I got my first job when I was 15, so it was kind of necessary, you know. If you can be working when you're that young, you should be able to take yourself to work, you know, in my opinion. So as soon as I got my license, I was free on the road. Don't play with me. I was going everywhere, driving a little too fast, obviously. But yeah, the traffic cameras, they got me, y'all. They freaking got me. 13 speeding tickets later, I've probably spent over $10,000 on speeding tickets. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's just like an estimate. One time, y'all, this cop gave me 3 tickets at one time. He was so unserious. I mean, he said that he was doing me a favor, which honestly, looking back at it, he probably was, because he technically should have or could have taken my license away. But he did me the favor of 3 speeding tickets in a row, y'all. Well, they weren't all speeding tickets. 1 speeding ticket, 1 reckless driving ticket, 1 tint ticket for my windows. But I bought the car like that. I didn't even put the tints on, so, but if it wasn't tinted, I would have put the tints on, so you know, I guess it's fair, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, maybe it was probably good for me to come here without my car. I don't think I could afford anymore. Me or my license couldn't afford it anymore. So yeah, that's that on that. I clearly went on a tangent about my car. You guys can tell that I hold her very dear to my heart. Duh. But let's segue back into our feelings. I want to talk about how when you overcome, what do I want to talk about? Oh yes, so I want to talk about how sometimes when you get out of a bad spot in your life and you move on, you're in a better place than you were before sometimes. And this may sound freaking crazy, because it kind of is crazy, but sometimes I be missing, whoa, should I say this out loud? I don't know. I'm gonna say it anyways, but sometimes I be missing the bad times. Is that crazy, y'all? Thinking about it or saying it out loud sounds pretty crazy, but it's true, so I'm just gonna continue to say my point. But like, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to explain this properly, but sometimes, and obviously there's so much work to still be done to get to an even better spot, so I'll probably look back at this time and think the same thing. I don't know, I think it's normal to miss periods of time in your life. Even though they were a bad time, it's like you can still reminisce and miss those times. It's not like I miss the feeling of being in the bad time. It's like I miss, and I don't even miss the struggle. Like, what do I miss about those times? I don't know. Sometimes I just be reminiscing. Maybe it's because I subconsciously don't think that I deserve like where I'm at now, but I don't really fully think that that's true either. So I don't know, maybe I'm just fucked up in the head, like straight up, maybe that's it. And like when I was in those bad situations, sometimes I would romanticize being in them, and that makes more sense because at the time it's like, what are you else to do, you know? You could sit there and mope and be sad and feel bad for yourself, or you could romanticize being in a bad place. Yo, am I crazy? I don't think I'm that crazy, but no, like, I don't know, there was nothing else to do, right? Like, if I'm gonna be stuck in this place that I somehow ended up in, what else can I do than try and make the best of it, or just romanticize it a little bit? It's not like I feel like I was romanticizing it at the time to just find a little bit of joy, you know? And it's not like it was actual joy, it was like fake joy though. But it still kind of worked. Like, I don't know, I feel like I've been really sad and depressed some periods in my life. But during those times, I've never, I don't know, when I was a kid, I can think back to a time when I was very, very depressed, sad, that I truly did not see no hope. I was thinking about, like, you know, and those times, like, I was very young. I'm talking like, that was probably in that 7 to 12 age range where I just don't remember shit. Yeah, those times. Yeah, and like during those periods of times, I feel like there was no joy whatsoever. And so after I got through those periods of times in my life where I thought, like, this is the hardest thing I'm ever gonna go through, after that I was like, damn, I made it through that. Nothing else can stop me, you know? I'll never go through anything else as worse as that. I'm crazy for thinking that, for real, because I was literally 7, I was like 2. So I don't know what business I had thinking that that was the hardest thing I was ever gonna go through. I definitely got faced with some harder obstacles. But like I said, during that time I felt like there was no joy, it was just straight sadness. It was like very, very, very dark times, very sad times. So I feel like all the hard times that have came after that, I've been able to find bits and pieces of joy, or even if it's, like I said, it's not real joy, it's kind of like fake joy, but it's like I needed something to get me through, and I knew that since that time that anything I would be through, I knew since that time that anything I would go through, I would be okay, and I would make it out on the other end, no matter what it is. And I still know that, and like think that no matter what else comes and like will face me in this lifetime, I will get through it. I don't care. I will get through it. And so I feel like there's comfort in knowing that and being confident in that part of me where I know that I'm strong enough to get through any obstacle that comes my way. And so I feel like that's where the romanticization like comes in. You know, I don't know, like, did that make sense? I don't know. Honestly, I don't care if it made sense. I don't know, with that being said, I feel like, well, I don't feel like, I know that time heals all sad things, or just time heals all in general. If you need healing, time will be your best friend. And it kind of sucks because nobody wants to wait to feel better. Like, it's like, can I just hurry up and feel better? But time really does heal all. And I feel like that's why with each, like, since I was a kid, with each hardship that I've been through, I wouldn't say that it's gotten easier. Actually, I would say that some of them have definitely been harder than the last. But there's a piece of me that knows, you know, that with time I'll be okay. So I don't know, I find peace in that always, like whenever I've been in a hard time. And honestly, maybe I'm just looking back and thinking that because when I was in those hard times, I went through probably one of the hardest times in my life 2 years ago now, maybe less, maybe more, around that time when I was 18, right? So that was 2 years ago, yeah. And during that time, there was no hope for me. Like, I thought, this is the end. There were times that I thought that I was gonna die, for real. And that's like a whole nother episode. And I do want to talk about that period of my life real bad, actually, because I feel like there needs to be a lot of light shed on that topic, because I feel like nobody talks about it, and I feel like it's a big thing that happens all around us that people don't recognize or understand or just like know about even. Like, I don't know. it was definitely not something I ever thought that I would have gone through. And so when I'm ready to talk about that, I will 100% talk about that. But today's not that day. But yeah, when I was in that period of time, I really thought like there was no hope for me, you know? So I guess like I still do find comfort in the fact that time heals everything, but when you're in certain situations, it's really hard to realize that. Sometimes you don't think that you're even gonna get enough time to heal it because your time is gonna be up, you know? Yeah. Craziness, y'all, craziness. I wanna go back to when I was talking about how when you're like in a good place, sometimes you'll miss the bad place, because I wanna like justify myself in saying that, and I wanna obviously give clarity to anybody else who feels that way. It's okay to feel that way. It's weird when you feel that way, obviously, because like I was saying, why would I miss that? And it's not like I miss the struggle, but why would I even be thinking or reminiscing on that time when like I'm where I am now? It's like I should just be thankful for where I am now and not be thinking about the past. And I don't know, it's hard. Like, people always say focus on the present and the future. I mean, people normally just say focus on the present, like live in the moment, you know? But sometimes you be reminiscing on the past, and I feel like that's okay. We need to, you know, we need to allow that and not normalize that, but we need to realize that that's okay to do that, because those parts are still part of us. That doesn't change. Those are real life things that we went through, and it's okay to feel like, damn, like I can't believe I went through that. I would never want to be back in that situation, but it's like, damn, I don't know, things are different at all points in your life, and I don't know, I would never trade how I'm feeling now for how I was feeling then, because damn, I was really feeling like shit back then, and I'm feeling a lot better now. I wish I could put my finger on what it is that and I don't reminisce or do that often. I feel like it's when like I'll smell a certain smell and I'll be like, damn, that reminds me of that period of my life. Or I'll see a certain clothing item or something like that, right? And I'll just think about those times. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess that kind of explains it. It's not like I'm reminiscing or missing or craving or anything like that, those times or those feelings. It's kind of just like me thinking about them, and like they always get brought up. Honestly, maybe that's just a me problem. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe you guys can't relate. I don't know. It's okay if you can't. Oh, I have this app. It's called CoStar. My friend Ellie put me on. Shout out Ellie. I'm pretty sure Ellie put me on. Yeah, she definitely did. It gives you a notification at your day at a glance. Like each day gives you a different, how do I explain this? Each day gives you a different, like, I guess prompt for your day. It doesn't like predict your day, but it kind of, I don't know, it just gives you something to think about during your day. Mine today says, let yourself unravel. I just got the notification. If that's not what I'm doing right now, I feel like I'm unraveling a lot right now. Back to me just talking about craving feelings, because I feel like that's the number one thing that I constantly crave. I mean, I guess like, I don't know, I normally, don't we all just wish that we could be in like some like parallel universe where you don't have to like worry about money and worry about boredom and worry about negative emotions and like this and that, you know? Like I would love, well, no, I wouldn't love that because I feel like you need to know the bad to feel the good, you know? But I would love to just be in like a euphoric state all the time. That type of feeling is literally the feeling that I chase. Like that's the feeling you get when you drive fast. That's the feeling you get when you're dancing in the rain. That's the feeling you get when you're laughing with friends, when you're feeling loved, when your energy is reciprocated, you know? Honestly, it's a feeling like no other. And maybe I'm starting to like, sometimes in more recent days I've been starting to feel, maybe I feel, and this is crazy, I don't know if this is probably not true, but I feel like I feel so deeply and like more deeply than others. Like I said, that's probably not true. There's really no way to measure that either. I just experience emotion so heavily, like whether that be a good emotion or a bad emotion or any emotion in between, I just experience it so heavily. But with that being said, I don't experience it heavily all the time. There are times when my mind is blank and there's not a feeling in my body or an emotion or an expression or a thought. The amount of times that I will stand in my house and look out the window and just ponder life. I'm pretty much just doing that this whole podcast, honestly, because like there's a huge window right behind y'all and I'm just pretty much not, like if you see me not looking at the camera, which is probably a lot in this podcast, I feel like I've been looking around a lot, or in this episode, it's because I'm pondering and I'm just staring into space. So yeah, I find myself doing that a lot. Maybe I need help. Maybe I need serious freaking help. And like, I don't know, I definitely, like I did get help. So like, I don't know, I went through a lot, obviously, like I was saying, in the past like couple of years, and I'll talk about that. But like I was saying, I did go to therapy for that. I didn't go to therapy for very long, and I only tried out 2 therapists. So I had 1 session with a male therapist, and then I had probably about like 10 sessions with like a female therapist over a period of a couple of months. And I hated her. I mean, I didn't hate her, but she didn't get what I, like she didn't get me. And it's hard, like obviously maybe I had to, you know, keep looking and find somebody that that could get me. I didn't really have that option though. I was my therapy was, I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in, but my therapy was being paid for by somebody that I met. Bless their heart and soul. But yeah, it was somebody that I had told my situation to, and they genuinely wanted to help, and they gave me a helping hand and said, this is my therapist, I'm gonna talk to her and help you get therapy as well. Thank you. Although, well, no, thank you, but she was shit. She was a shit therapist. And I don't know, it's hard when people haven't been through exactly what you've been through to give you advice on that situation. It's like, I feel like I can give myself better advice than you can, but I'm in such a low spot in my life where I don't think that I don't think I'm gonna see the other side. So it's like, I need you to help me see the other side. But she just couldn't do that for me. It was like, how are you feeling today? And I'd be like shit, like I wanna, you know? And then she'd be like, well, what makes you feel that way? What the fuck do you mean? Like, I've literally been telling you what makes me feel this. I've literally told you my whole life story pretty much. How are you feeling? What makes you feel, like she just constantly would ask, like, how are you feeling? What makes you feel that way? How do you think I'm fucking feeling? You know, like as if I haven't already told you enough, like that I feel terrible, you know? So yeah, I don't know, maybe it was my fault. or maybe I'm just projecting onto myself, but she was not for me. I would definitely say that she did help me with a couple of things. She gave me like she put some things into perspective for me that I couldn't have put into perspective for myself. There was some things that I was just like, I didn't know why they happened, and I was like, this makes no sense, like why would this happen to me? And she was like, oh, like it's not your fault, it just was their fault. It was just them projecting onto you. Oh, like, oh, like I should have freaking known that shit, you know? But no, she definitely did a little 1-2 thing. But yeah, I don't know, it's just not for me. I think also I kind of get along better, like growing up I've always had a better relationship with like male teachers, and like the female teachers have always just like pissed me off, because I think I just got unlucky. All my female teachers were actually terrible. Like one of them hated me growing up, and she was really, really mean to me. Yeah, I think I tested her patience though, so honestly it was probably a two-way street, but I mean everything is. But yeah, I don't know, I've just always gotten along better with like male teachers, and so yeah, I don't know, I probably should have, I mean, like I said, it wasn't up to me who the therapist was, so I was just grateful for any type of therapy that I could get. But look, like if I was to ever go back into therapy, I would definitely probably try and find a male therapist. Although now thinking about it, I probably wouldn't, because no man, and I will get into this topic, I'm about to say a big statement here, no man will ever understand how I feel. And until you realize like what I'm talking about, well, not even realize, until I explain to you guys what I'm talking about, it probably won't make sense that a man can't feel what I'm talking about. But okay, I feel like we're going in circles here. But yeah, my main point is a man will never understand how I feel, so it's probably best that I do go to a woman. But I feel like I literally need to go to a woman that has been through what I've been through, because for people that haven't gone through what I've been through, it's so hard to understand or like grasp the idea of it, or people just like ask stupid questions all the time. I don't know. So I'll have to figure that out at some point in my life. But honestly, I feel like I'm therapy for myself. I feel like I'm at a point where I really don't need, and maybe this is too far for me to say. I mean, I would never say that I don't need therapy. I feel like everybody can use a little bit of therapy, even if you have nothing that you want to overcome. Therapy is good to just talk about your feelings. Like, I feel like I'm doing that now, so I feel like this is low-key, it could be like my new therapy. But yeah, talking about your feelings is so good. Like, even if you don't feel like you have much that you want to talk about, or anything like, you know, that you've been through, or like hardships that you feel like you need to overcome, you don't need to have something that you feel like you need to overcome to go to therapy. Therapy can't hurt, you know? Talking about yourself, talking about your feelings, this life is confusing, y'all, so therapy can always help. Although therapy is expensive, so maybe you should just start a podcast, like, I don't know. I don't have the answers for you there, but yeah, I don't know. I would never deny therapy in the future, but for right now, this is good enough. Thank you. To conclude, you guys, I just want to say that, like I said before, feelings demand to be felt. If you can talk about your feelings, do that. Talk about them with yourself, talk about them with your friend, talk about them with a therapist, talk about them with your mom, talk about them with your dog, talk about them with your cat. Talk about your feelings. If you have something that you need to work through, talk about it. And don't forget that time heals everything, y'all. Time really does put a band-aid slowly over your wound. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling empty, if you're feeling very sad, if you're feeling very depressed, if you feel like you don't know what direction to go in next, just remember that time heals all. It freaking sucks to wait, but Take your time, give yourself grace, don't be too hard on yourself, and time will heal your wounds. I'm like, hurry the fuck up, time. No. I hope that this episode is a decent length. I have no idea how long I've been talking for. I literally don't know. When I sat down, I have no idea how much footage I have, so we'll see. But I feel like that's all for this episode, you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys who watches or has anything nice to say or has anything mean to say. Thank you. But yeah, I'm so happy to be doing this. It honestly makes me so happy just being able to have the freedom, the ability to do this. And yeah. So if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you so much. I love you. Please like, share, subscribe, all of the things. Tea out.